This is the CH4D Priming and Swage kit I purchased to remove primer pocket crimps from crimped military and commercial brass. It's available from the CH4D website for about 37 bucks here in December 2013. After some research and shopping around, I chose this kit over the RCBS and Dillon Swedgers, mostly due to price and simplicity. What you get with the kit is it comes in this black plastic case, but you get two swedging punches, a small and a large. You get this die body with this is the die ring that it comes with. I installed a Forster cross bolt. I use a Forster press, and I kind of prefer that design. This is the ram prime that comes with the kit also, and just the additional punch and cup for the different size primers. You will have to supply a standard shell holder to hold the case that you're going to be swedging, and how that's done is you'll insert the shell holder into this die body as you would on your press ram, and close that spring to hold it in place. And you'll install this die body into your press, and this swedging punch will install into the ram of your press, and the stroke of the press will bring it up in such a way that it'll protrude enough to swedge the crimp out of that primer pocket. And it can be done fairly quickly once you get set up and running, and I'll demonstrate that here in just a second. This is going to be a quick demonstration on the basic setup of the CH4D Primer Pocket Swage. In this instance, I'm using the Forster coax press. It's perfectly suitable, and actually I preferred using it on an O-frame style press, but this is the one I have now. If you have a Forster, you'll have to get this adapter right here that allows this press to accept a standard shell holder, because that's what the priming swedge mimics. Alright, what I typically do to start setup is I'll insert that priming swedge, and on this adapter plate it doesn't have a spring to retain the priming swedge or shell holder, so you've got to run this set screw in. I'll run it in until it touches and back it off a little bit, just allow a little bit of a wiggle room. It can self-align if it needs to. The next thing to do would be to install your die body. In this instance, I already have the shell holder snapped in. And what you'll do is run up the press and make sure that everything is set up and that the swedge is actually protruding through the shell holder. And what you'll have to do is get a case, a crimped case, and you'll have to insert it into the shell holder. And what you'll do is you'll just run this up, and you'll get a feel for how much swedge it needs to get rid of that crimp. If you go too far, you can actually rip the rim off, or you can damage the rim, and it'll be pretty self-evident if you've done that. Just try to find the happy medium between not enough swedge and just enough to get it out without damaging your case rim. Gonna try to run a little demo here, working around camera and tripods and lights and everything. But all you got to do is just stage your press where you need it. Like I said, the Forster is going to be a little more awkward to work with because it's got this ram back here that raises up in your way and kind of inhibits your access to your shell holder, getting your brass in and out of there in a speedy fashion. But it works. It's just a little bit easier on an O-frame style press. But all you do is just get this to where your swedge is just hovering below the surface of your shell holder, and start putting shells in it, or cases rather, and just running it. And it takes very minimal press stroke to perform this function, and it's really the reason why I chose it over the Dillon, other than price, is I don't have to worry about sliding my cases down an arbor or flipping levers or mounting a separate piece of equipment. This uses what I already have. Cost me about 40 bucks. I don't even remember if they charged me shipping or not for it. I can't remember if it was included. I've had this about a year or more. But as you can see, I mean, once you get moving and you're not trying to have a conversation with the camera, start moving pretty quick. Anyway, that's the CH4D Primer Swage in operation, and hopefully you learned.